G-O-O-O-D, good afternoon. Stongo, Chukma, Yata, hey, OCO, all of the
OCO.
above.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Native News Today. Jason Salzman, Gerald Wofford, as always, thank you for joining us, bringing us into your homes, bringing you those great Native American stories.
Absolutely. We're glad to be here on 1:30 on CW19 Network, and just thrilled to be here on another Saturday, Gerald. Air in the lungs, sun shining bright. I mean, it may be shining bright. I don't know.
We hope that it is.
We're inside right now.
Symbolically.
So, yeah, symbolically. But hey, you know what? I'll tell you what's bright. The future of this program, if we keep these great stories coming each week, because we got a lot of great things on tap for this Saturday. And I know people out there want to take a seat, kick back, and see what's coming. Gerald, tell us about some of the stories we got.
That's right. We got some good stories here. You know, as always, in Muskogee Creek culture, as any Native American culture, the support and the love that we have for our children is always important. Last week in the Muskogee Creek Nation, they celebrated the Week of the Young Child, a special parade. We're hearing from Barbara O'Neill, who is the education specialist, talking about that special week, some of the events happening then, and all that happened with that event.
Absolutely, and we also were in Oklahoma City covering a very, very special partnership, I guess, if you will, between the Oklahoma City Indian Cultural Center that is under construction now, and it's going to be coming up very, very soon, and the NMAI, the National Museum of the American Indian, located in Washington, D.C., and they were coming together basically to commemorate the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding. Basically, what this is a partnership between the two to basically put the Cultural Center in Oklahoma City on the map. The NMAI in Washington, D.C. has been an unbelievable place for Indians everywhere since its inception a few years back. And now, with these two institutions coming together, it just gives a little more credibility to the Cultural Center in Oklahoma City and makes it one of the premier places in all the world to come and learn about Indian cultures and see the great things that Indians are doing even today.
That's going to be great. Also, too, we're going to be talking with Mr. Ken Heupel, a very special man here in Sooner Land, because he's the father of OU quarterback Josh Heupel, but has an organization, works with his son as well. They're going to have a very special event happening next week, and Jason got a chance to catch up with him.
Absolutely, man. Ken is a wonderful man. Does a lot of great things for underprivileged kids and for Indian kids out there. They're wanting to bring their Day of Champions football camp to Indian country, and they're doing that with the For Love of the Game organization that builds character through sports in their Indian youth. And what a great partnership that is, and what a great future there is going to be for both For Love of the Game and the Day of Champions camp. And there's a lot of great things happening with Ken Heupel and Josh Heupel's 14 Foundation. We'll talk about all that when we visit with Ken, and we're going to be just rolling right along here this Saturday on Native News Today.
Yeah, so many events we got here. There's going to be some great events happening with that organization. And as you all probably know, you're loyal watchers, and we thank you for being loyal there. It's probably no secret now that you know he and I are co-hosts here that we both bleed crimson, you know.
Right.
Not just physically, I guess, really.
I don't want to have to prove it or anything, but I will if I'm pressed.
You know, we're OU alum, and we're proud of that. So, we just share that along with you. So we have that Trivial Pursuit of Native News Today. That'll be one of the questions.
There you go.
Well, we'll take a break right now. We'll get into those stories, all that and more here on the Native News Today.
From Moreau Indian Children's Home. I'm happy to be here today to say thank you to the Creek Nation.
You know, Jason, it's so prevalent in all Native American societies to honor the elders and, of course, to love the youth, to bring them up and train them in the right way. And a special event happened last week in Okmulgee, the Week of the Young Child.
Sure, the Week of the Young Child is one of the special things that happen around here, and it's because that the youth show you the way. The youth are the people that you have to foster their intelligence and really get them to understand the important things that go on in a culture and in a way of life. And if you do that at an early age, they'll hold that with them throughout all their adult years, and it's good to do that, those kind of things, and recognize those kids.
That's right. And we got a chance to talk with Barbara O'Neill, who's the education specialist here at the Muskogee Creek Nation, about this special event. Second Chief was out, as well as some other tribal officials, all celebrating the Week of the Young Child.
Okay, my name is Barbara O'Neill, and I'm the education specialist with the Muskogee Creek Nation Head Start program. What we're doing today is our 5th annual parade for the Week of the Young Child. This focuses on our children and our families and our different programs, and also the community services that they help support the needs of our children. All the children from the Creek Nation is here, and we have the child care from the Creek Nation. And also, we have the chief, second chief, Mr. Sumner, and Lewis Hicks is supposed to be here to walk with us. And we'd like to thank the city of Okmulgee for sponsoring us with the police department and the fire, and to help us walk on this parade. Also, this year, the Okmulgee High School Drum Corps is going to be walking with us at the very beginning, and we want to thank them for joining us again this year. It is the Week of the Young Child. It's a national celebration that celebrates the lives of children and their families. And what it is to try to bring focus on the needs of the children and the families in our tribes, in our nation, in the state.
You know, here on the Native News today, we like to be a little bit sincere sometimes, a little bit of having our hallmark moments, if you will. As you notice, the theme of the show has kind of been about new beginnings.
Okay.
The youthful starts, Week of the Young Child there. A new construction site is being prepared in Oklahoma because of a very special organization that's coming here to Oklahoma, a very special museum under construction.
Yes, the NMAI, which is the institute in Washington, D.C., has now joined forces with the Oklahoma City Cultural Center, which is going up right now. Construction continues. Me and Jared were able to see a scale model of this thing, and it's just very, very impressive, to say the least, and you'll see it here on this piece. But the wonderful thing about it is that now the NMAI, the National Museum of the American Indian, has partnered and sort of put the Cultural Center on the map, and it will be the premier spot here in Indian country, Indian Territory, Oklahoma, to tell the story of the 39 tribes from their perspective, as well as to be able to see what they are doing now in this modern day world.
So I'm doing work with the exhibit design firm, and what we've done, we've finished a lot of our drawings and design ideas about what the physical character of the place is going to be, and now we're really focusing on adding the content into this. And incorporating this means that getting the stories from Indian people told in their perspectives about their tribes, their culture, and their history. And in addition to that, it's really more of a contemporary who we are today as well. It's really significant to see the cooperation between the two institutions, but also what this does for the institution here in Oklahoma. It really helps to put us on the map with the cultural institutions worldwide. We're developing something here that is unique. If you look at the perspective globally, it's happening right here in Oklahoma. We are making progress. I've been involved 4 years now with the project, and the project itself is gaining momentum. Momentum from the standpoint of what you're going to experience and see in this place, but also momentum and support from people out in the community. We could not have this cultural center, and we could not have it told in the voice of Indian people without the support of Indian people.
It really is. It is a new stage of the project. I mentioned, there at one time we had this ground blessing, and that was the beginning of this construction period. And you have construction and you have institutional identity, and it's the living, breathing programs that really enable an institution to be sustainable and to have the community involved. And it's through agreements like this Memorandum of Understanding that will really enable us to develop a relationship that will feed that institutional capacity to have educational programs, to have symposia, to have the workshops, to have trading intern programs. And so this is sustaining a step towards sustaining the life of the project. And that's today, and it's a special day, but it's also very much about the future for the project. And it's reassuring to watch and to have learned and to have this dialogue with the National Museum of the American Indian, to understand what they went through to really become a visible world-class institution. It's a learning opportunity for us, and it's really been a real education for me, especially to listen to how long it took them, and to know that we have a process behind us, but we've come a long way.
Shake your head. All right. I feel like we just signed the SALT treaty.
There you go. All right, a lot of great things happening right here in the state of Oklahoma. Going to take a quick break here and catch you up on some of the tribal events happening on our tribal calendar. But then in the next segment, what are we going to have, man?
Some OU football talk. No, I'm just kidding.
A little
In
bit
a way,
here.
yeah.
Going to have Mr. Ken Heupel here talking about a very special event happening next week, all for good charity, all for a good cause. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this next segment of the Native News Today.
Here at the College of the Muskogee Nation, we pride ourselves on emphasizing Native culture, values, language, and self-determination while providing a positive learning environment for tribal and non-tribal students. We encourage our students to be lifelong learners and to strive for personal growth, professional advancement, and intellectual advancement. Muskogee Nation College, academic achievement, Native values.
All right, we are joined now by a very, very special guest in studio, Mr. Ken Heupel. And you might know him as Josh's dad, as like everybody likes to say out there, but you like to be Ken sometimes, don't you?
Once in a while, I like to be known as Ken, absolutely.
Well, he does great things, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just tell you, he is the director of the Day of Champions football camp, and this is an unbelievable organization dedicated to making differences in the lives of underprivileged kids. And I know, Ken, that you're so proud of the things that go on in that organization.
We're very excited. Again, I coached for 27 years back in the Dakotas, and one day just decided to move to Oklahoma, my wife and I, and we started the Day of Champions staff of about 14 that we take into different areas of the state of Oklahoma as well as outside of the state of Oklahoma. But I believe that we do, our camps are a little different than most football camps. Again, we do work on skill camps and or on the skill of football, but we also bring in what I call the 4 principles to great leadership. We set a discipline and we establish trust, respect, and hard work throughout the entire day. Now that could be a 1-day, it could be a 2-day camp, it could be a 3-day camp, and we're working with, for the love of the game, with a 3-day camp, which deals with 2 skill days and 1 fantasy day, where we try to build relationships and that type of thing.
One of the main things that, in talking to you in the past, and one of the things you said to me that really stuck out was, Josh is here in Oklahoma, he recognizes the population that's here, and he wants to reach out to Native American kids, and that's what you've done here with 411 The Game. I know you guys are excited about that.
Absolutely, and the thing is that the state of Oklahoma just did such a great job of when Josh moved here to accept him, to support him, even on the bad days to be able to support him, that he wanted to give back and give back to kids, and that's what we do with the Day of Champions, my Day of Champions. Not only Josh, but we bring in Jason White, we bring in Rocky Kelmus, we bring in Josh Norman, we bring in coaches from all over the country, different divisions, get a flavor of different divisions, Division II coaches, NAIA coaches, junior college coaches, former players, NFL players. We bring a group, a staff, which I call the A-team, to come in. And the number 1 criteria that they have to have is they have to have the love of the kids, and they have to come in and love kids and coach kids. The kids will get coached up. Doesn't matter what level, doesn't matter what age. We're going to set the discipline in all of them. The expectations are high that they're going to be successful, and they are successful. And again, the capabilities of working with core development, and then going into the football skills of it, and then dealing with setting discipline and establishing the trust factor, the respect factor, the hard work, and then we go into Sooner Ball, and they learn how to come together as a team, come together and have some fun.
Absolutely.
So again, we're extremely excited about what we stand for, what we do, and the expectations that we have when we step into a camp. And that camp can be a one-day camp. Again, it could be a 2-day camp, could be a 3-day camp. But when we step into it, our coaches are going to coach up, and again, the number one criteria that our coaches have to have is the ability to love kids.
Absolutely, and that's where it starts at the core of it. And the ability and the desire to love kids and care about what happens with our youth is right at the core of what's going on at For Love of the Game organization. I know you've been in contact with Lucas for several months now, and really just getting a good idea of what his organization is all about. Talk about that partnership and how you feel about
I'll
it.
tell you what, you talk about quality of a man. That man has great quality. From the first time we had the meeting to developing a relationship, and that's what's so great about the game of football, as well as camps and that type of thing, is building relationships with coaches, with players, and that. And I had a great opportunity of meeting Lucas and developing the relationship, and the relationship that he has, the character, the want to help kids is exactly what the Day of Champions is all about. And this thing will just get better and bigger, and the growth will be unbelievable.
And that's all going on, like I said, July 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Absolutely great
Fourth,
time.
a great time.
Great time. It'll be all going on there. It's going to be just an absolutely wonderful, wonderful occasion going on. And hey, Gerald, throw me in here. I just got to show this to Ken here. This is my OU football. I got Josh's signature right there. So always have it on the program.
It's amazing that
throw
you
it out
caught
of
it.
there.
I thought you were going to drop
Oh
it.
no, I was gonna give it to you.
You got glue hands.
But not only the Day of Champions, but also you are involved with Josh's organization that he started at the University of Oklahoma. Of course, I'm talking about the 14 Foundation, and this is also for underprivileged kids out there, and you guys do unbelievable things for that. But specifically, you got a big event coming up that I know we want to tell everybody about.
Yeah, we got a big day coming up May 12th. It's for it's a drag race, the first drag race that we put on. We want this thing to be year after year, but it's for underprivileged kids. All proceeds going to the 14 Foundation for Underprivileged Kids. You know, Josh was 7 years old. He was driving down the road with his mom, and he turned to her and he says, "I know I want to do two things in my life." And she says, "Oh yeah, what is that?" He says, "One," he says, "I want to play in the NFL." And he says, "The second thing is I want to help underprivileged kids." And so the first thing he did after they won the national championship his last year is he developed the 14 Foundation for Underprivileged Kids. We have 3 divisions. We have the Thanksgiving division, we have the Christmas division, and the third division is a camp division. Now, when you think about camps, you always think about, just sports camps, but these camps, they can be Bible camps, they can be arts camps, they can be technology camp, whatever that individual wants, whatever camp that individual wants. We try to help that individual with the camp, not only sending that individual to a camp, but sending that individual to the camp in the state of Oklahoma so we can help companies in the state of Oklahoma as well. And this drag race that we're putting on is the first one. We have a commercial that is out with Garth Brooks. Garth is supporting it. Again, May 12th is going to be a big day. We've got over 100 cars there. We've got cars that the Raceway has never seen. We have blown funny cars that run up to 250. Now you have to understand, I'm a football coach. I'm not a dragster now. So when I'm talking about some of these are things that I have been told. We've got the blown funny cars that range about 250 miles per hour. Then we have Pro Stock. We have modified Pro Stock. We have sportsmen. Not only that, we have junior racers coming in, drag racers, young guys that'll drive the drag race that supposedly speeds of 82, 72, 82, 92 miles an hour. I can't imagine a parent saying, "Yeah, go ahead, go get in there," but it's unbelievable. And then we've got motorcycle stunts, stunt people that are coming in. So really, whatever you want, whatever interest you have, you're going to have that interest. And then outside the gates, we're going to raffle off a brand new half-ton Chevy truck worth about $17,000 to $22,000. We're going to raffle that thing off. We also have a four-wheeler and a cadet lawnmower that we're raffling off. And then also we have a bunch of merchandise with 14 Foundation on it and that type of thing. And Josh is going to be there, and he is going to be signing all day long. Now, the one thing that I did forget, the most important event, I think, not only is there going to be great food and that type of thing, again, proceeds going to the 14 Foundation, but we have a celebrity division. So Jason White is going to be there, Congressman Bourne is going to be there, Josh Norman's going to be there, Josh is going to be there, and we have some other celebrity newscasters there, or sportscasters that are going to be in the race itself. So that we have a division there that they are going to race each other. And
You gonna
no,
race?
absolutely
Okay,
not.
just
no.
making sure.
No, absolutely not.
Your
There isn't-
safety is my
there's-
primary
there-
concern.
There's an age level to this, all right? But so really it's a night, it's a day. The gates open at 1:30, it's going to shut when the thing is done with. If you just come for Josh's autograph, you come for Josh's autograph. If you just come for a good hot dog, you come for a good hot dog. If you want to see some great racing, there's going to be some great racing there. Again, over 100 cars that the raceway has not seen in a long time, and we're just hoping that everybody comes out and supports, because it's not the 14 Foundation, it's for kids, and we're going to be able to help a lot of kids in the state of Oklahoma.
Absolutely. And where's that all taking place?
That
there in
is
Tulsa?
taking place at Raceway.
Okay, Raceway,
Tulsa.
right there in Tulsa, Oklahoma, all for a great cause, and that'll be a week from today, May 12th, and everybody come on out, and like Mr. Heupel said, you can get an autograph, get a hot dog, get a lot of excitement from these races, all of that going on. And I don't want to make sure and leave here without reminding you about the Day of Champions Camp coming to Indian Country, July 2nd through the 4th. Now, if you have any inquiries about that or want to get signed up, you can do that now by logging on to www.forloveofthegame.org, and they'll set you up. And a great organization, two great organizations teaming up to make this happen, and also want to see all of you out at the Raceway next week.
And just remember that third day, we got to bring in the parents.
That's right,
Yeah,
all the
don't
parents
forget
out
about
there.
that on the 4th.
I might even
Absolutely.
have to get out there and do a few things.
That's
You never know.
absolutely right.
Okay,
Now,
well,
you have to probably be on the non-skilled, because I don't know
Oh.
your hands. I don't.
he's got
have a
jokes.
question
He's got all
about
kinds
that.
of jokes. Do you not
The
see me
hands
catch
are out
that
of the
ball all
question.
ago?
No, that was really an easy toss to you. I mean, I
Uh,
want to see it come at about 90 miles an hour and see if you can catch on to that.
All right, well, Ken, it's great having you here today.
Thank you.
I'm an Oklahoma Sooner, but because of you, I'm also an honorary South Dakota State Wolf.
All right.
So thanks for being here today with us.
Thank you.
It's here. It's hot. And it's only at Creek Nation Casino in Muskogee, the ultimate treasure hunt, and it's going on now through April 1st. A Suzuki Boulevard motorcycle, Chevy Silverado truck, and $20,000 in cash prizes are up for grabs, and 20 lucky winners will find their own pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. That's all happening right off Highway 69 in Muskogee.
All right there, great organization led out there by Mr. Ken Heupel. And Jason, that must have been a really good treat for you to get a chance to interview him like that.
It really was. The first time I ever talked to him when he came up here, I got to admit, I was a little starstruck because such a big part of my life is OU and football and everything like that. And I've always been such a huge fan. I remember back in the old days, even being 3 years old and remembering Dad having everybody over at the house for the Orange Bowl against Penn State in '85. And
I was going to college at that
I see a
time.
tear coming out of your eye there.
This guy's not kidding about OU football. When you believe in gravy, God, OU football, I mean, it's just part of it, right?
Gravy first.
Gravy,
Put
okay.
gravy first.
Okay, gravy.
You
No,
did.
okay, God.
You put gravy in before
Oh,
God.
well,
That's
we'll put
awesome. That's
Some
great.
may agree out
Hey,
there.
some people may
I don't
have
know. I
that
don't
faith.
know.
Hey, you never know. You never know. We don't know if we'll have enough time. But the thing is that, yeah, Gerald, the way we are is we've always had that ingrained in us. Huge fans and just super fans is what they call us, really. And when I was going to school, my first year at OU was the magical, 2000 national championship run. And Josh was a huge part of that. I mean, he was the main catalyst in all of that. And I followed everything, man. The stories about his parents and driving from South Dakota and his dad being a coach up there. And, I felt like I knew his dad. But then when I finally got a chance to meet him, you realize what a special man he is and how genuine of a person he is. And that really just reflected on down throughout his family. And he did a wonderful job obviously raising Josh, and Josh has went on to do great things. Now the quarterback's coach at Oklahoma, but wonderful to be partnered up with somebody like that and have them bring such a wonderful thing to the Indian kids in Creek Country.
Now, as the weeks go along, we'll keep giving you information about the football camp that's coming up right here near Henrietta, Oklahoma. Going to be for the kids around here, the Native American kids, a special football camp being put on by Mr. Heupel and members of his organization there. It's going to be a great event. Give you all the information to do it. Have your budding football talent out there and get trained in a very special camp.
Absolutely, and to all the Hoktagis out there that have a aspiring football career, and maybe think that you can't just because you're a girl.
We need a little subtitle here.
Yeah,
Spencer.
I'm sorry, I
What
didn't
is
mean to
that?
throw out the creep. You know, that's the thing is that they said that a lot of girls come to these things. The thing I made a mention of when I was talking to Mr. Heupel was like, you're going to be surprised at the Indian girls because you ain't never seen them probably go out there in a stickball game. They're brutal. You know, they don't use the sticks, but they're brutal. You know how
I
it
understand
goes.
that Rocky Kalmus even may have trained at one of the stickball grounds.
He could have. Was it Hickory Ground or
It perhaps was.
might have
Hickory
been?
Ground,
No, I don't know.
Or Jinx Ground, maybe.
What, Iron Post?
One of those iron posts. That's right here. Well, you know, you had mentioned though watching the game there, the championship game '85. I was going to college at that time there in '85, so I remember that time.
Wait a minute, you're
as
dating
well.
yourself. Quit dating yourself.
Well, okay, but you know,
Everybody
just-
thinks you're 26. Come on, we got to keep it going.
Well, I appreciate that. Later on, we may have a raffle to guess our ages and everything like that, but you know, we'll just keep that as it is right now. Hey, as always, we appreciate you sending in those stories. We're getting more and more. You folks are, you know, telling us what's going on out there in Indian Country, and hey, all we want to do is report it.
Absolutely, we're so appreciative of the fact that you are watching. We are getting your feedback, and we really appreciate it. So just keep it coming. We love that. We love the adoration. Just keep it on coming. And I'm speaking for the production staff too, because these guys are a couple of prima donnas. I'm talking about Jared and Josh.
That's
They're
right.
like,
Jared
you
and
know.
Josh love those stories.
Absolutely. But there's ways you can get a hold of us if you want to do that. You can reach us by telephone at 918-732-7638. Or if you want to get us by fax, you can do that at 918-758-0824. Or you can reach us by our email address. Mine is jsalzman@muskogeynation-nsn.gov or gwofford@muskogeynation-nsn.gov. T's crossed, I's dotted. Let's go to the house.
That's right. And, you know, we won't say, take care, gravy bless. We'll see you soon.
Yeah.
We'll say, hey, you know, for our producer, Josh Lane, Jared Moore, Jason Salzman, Gerald Wofford, meantime, take care. God bless. We'll see you soon.